Hello, everyone. My name is Wilson, and we are doing a Legacy Cube draft on Magic Online. You can find my Twitch stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 p.m. until 8-ish at twitch.tv/Crewman Wilson. And let's jump into this pack here. And we're seeing some cards. The cards that jump out to me are Glenelendra, Shriekmaw, Garruk. That's really about it. Glenelendra, Shriekmaw, and Garruk are the big ones. I think, after playing against it so much and playing with it so much, and it is always such a game changer. I'm going to take Glenelendra. It's just such a good card. With this cube, it is fairly creature heavy, but then, you can also just drop a Planeswalker or, something powerful like Winter Orb. And having that ability to just counter it on the table, I'm in. I like it. I'm taking Glenelendra and moving on. All right. Here we have Vendilion Clique or Preordain. There's some white cards, a Dismember, some lands. I really look at this between Vendilion Clique or Preordain. Both of them are very good. We have our Fairy Wizard synergies. I don't think anyone would be at fault for taking either and not taking the other one. But I'm going to take Vendilion Clique here. Preordain is very, very, very good. But Vendilion Clique, it adds not only that level of disruption, mangling their hand, but also a 3/1 in the air can sometimes just get there. So we're going to take Vendilion Clique, followed up with, I have a real love for Repeal. I really like it, but I'm going to take this Riftwing Cloudskate. And, I mean, we're opening up with some really strong blue cards here. So, I don't know. Maybe we can be mono blue, white blue. We can do all kinds of things. The world is ours. All right. There's a Dragonlord Silumgar. There's also an Impulse. Also a Tropical Island. Tropical Island's an interesting one. I haven't had any real reason to look to be green. It looks like we're going to be pretty heavy blue. So I think I'm going to take the Impulse here. It's just my first impulse. There is Dragonlord Silumgar, which is a very good card, but I don't know if I want to be going into black. I'd rather just stick with blue for right now and see what we can do with that. All right, well, there are no blue cards in here, so we can start looking elsewhere. There are things like Collected Company, which is okay. Not with what we're doing right here. Wall of Blossoms, P and Kieran. There's some black cards, but they're not very great. Red-black card, which I think is very good, but we're probably going to just pass on that. I'm looking at, like, Pia and Kieran. There's also Isochron Scepter. Maybe we just take the Scepter here, and we already have one target for it, and if we pick up something like Counterspell or Into the Royal, it just gets very, very good. So I'm going to take Isochron Scepter here and just move along, see what else comes our way. There's a Condemn. Condemn can go under Isochron Scepter, and that's a big game right there. There's also Augur of Bolas, which I'm not super thrilled about. There is a Sulphur Falls as well. I'm not a big fan of Augur of Bolas. I am a big fan of Sulphur Falls, and I think I'm just going to take that. Maybe we can go blue-red or something. Okay, so blue is looking like it's kind of drying up. So we can look at things like Mizzy Mortars. Shout out to my boy, the Greater Gargadon. There's Badlands, which, again, we haven't had real reason to go into black or red so far. And there is Waterfront Bouncer right here. Waterfront Bouncer is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I mean, you make up for it with card draw. I think I'm going to take the Waterfront Bouncer. Just stay on target for now. See where this goes and, adjust accordingly. All right, so there's a Precursor Golem and a Stormtide Leviathan. I'm going to take this Precursor Golem. I think Precursor Golem is great. So let's take that. Is it Charm? Very good with Sulfur Falls. You know, you have to be able to cast it, but it's also just a very good card. I'm going to put it over here for right now. Maybe come back to it a little bit later. Stagger Shock, Spike Shot Elder. We'll take a Stagger Shock. And not a lot here. I'm going to take this Ratchet Bomb for the tokens deck. There's a Char. So the thing is, if we are going mono blue, I'm actually not. I'm not unhappy with our position right now, because where we're at right now, we have 6 pretty playable cards, and then Isochron Scepter, which we need a couple more cards to make it work. But usually you want like anywhere between 5 and 6 playable cards per pack, and then you can just fill out the rest. I mean, with any sort of like mono color strategy in any sort of limited environment, you aren't going to get, you know, like bomb after bomb after bomb, but you're going to sacrifice that a little bit for stable mana. I don't know why Rakdos Return's still here. This is a Fireball and a Mind Twist. We'll take War Leader's Helix and Mizzy Wars. Okay. So red looks pretty open, but right now we're on the blue train. We do have a red-blue land, so I don't know. I think we're in okay shape. Well, we open opposition, which is great. There's also Batterskull. Not really much else. I'm going to take this opposition. It's just probably the best card in Cube. It's like Jace, Mystic Confluence, opposition is right up there. I mean, with opposition, you can just get to a point where you have creatures out, you play opposition, and you just win the game. I mean, it doesn't need a whole lot to go with it. Passing the Batterskull is a little hard, but I'm definitely taking opposition here. It's too good. Follow that up with, there's a Negate, there's a Ralzeric, there's also an Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb's pretty good with things like Precursor Golem and Glenelendra. Maybe playing Riftwing, maybe even playing Isochron Scepter turn 1. Negate is something that can go onto Isochron Scepter, which is pretty good. I do like me a Ralzeric. There's also a Deceiver Exarch, which if we do pick up something like Splinter Twin or Kiki-Jiki, I would want to be doing that. I think I'm going to take the Ancient Tomb. I think this is very, very good. All right, Thassa, that's a great pickup. Great pickup for mono blue. You know, not only can you get your beatdown on easier because you're going to have the blue pips, but also you can make your other creatures unblockable. You can get that card selection out of her. Very, very good. Passing, you know, cards. Upheaval is a card that we're passing, but we'll just keep on moving here. Serum Visions, Gitaxian Probe, Sower. I think I'm going to take the Sower of Temptation. It's more blue pips for Thassa. Stealing a creature to then, you know, opposition their lands is pretty brutal. I think a very, very close second is Serum Visions. I wouldn't fault anyone for picking Serum Visions. Serum Visions doesn't work with Isochron Scepter. It's only instants, so just nip that in the bud right there. But yeah, we'll take a Sower. Followed up with Jace Venser, Forbidden Alchemy. Jace Venser, Forbidden Alchemy. I think it's between these two. I think Forbidden Alchemy is a distant third. And I think I'll just take Venser. Venser's quite good. And Jace, I mean, there are better Jaces out there. We'll take this Venser. I think this Jace is great, though. But I think this Venser's ability is just, it's so unique and awesome that we have to take it. All right. Speaking of having to take it, we're going to take Meloku because we have opposition now and Meloku. So currently doing it. Passing a Brutal Expulsion, which I am gaining more and more respect for in each cube draft. So very good. Whirler Rogue and Kira. So Whirler Rogue is good with opposition. Kira is good just in general. Kira is just a great card. Lets all of your creatures dodge removal. Now, it is a Nombo with Thassa, because the first creature, you have to, if you want something to be unblockable, you have to target it twice. So it's Whirler Rogue or Kira. I think this is tough. I think I'm gonna take the. I'll take the Kira. I'll take the Kira. Go with the Spirit. Deep Analysis or Mana War? Well, that's the age-old question. Deep Analysis or Mana War? Both are good. Both are very good. Right now we don't have a whole lot of card draw. Size Scepter is looking weaker and weaker by the second. We know it's there. I'm gonna take the Mana War just because we have opposition. It's just so good. Revoker or Threads? I'll take the Revoker. I think Threads is pretty mediocre. There's Rouse Eric. We could just splash this Sulphur Falls and just play a Rouse Eric. There's also a Deceiver Exarch. I'm going to take this Deceiver Exarch. I don't know if we're going to play it. I'll put it right there. Wow, what is Upheaval doing this late? We'll take it. I don't know if we're going to play it. Duplicant is cool. We can end up playing that. Okay. I'll take this. And Elves of Deep Shadow and Thespian Stage for, you know, our Dark Depths that we're going to get in Pack 3. Bam. All right, so what are we looking for here in Pack 3? I don't know, just awesome blue cards. Master Waves is kind of priority number 1. Jace's, Treachery, Control Magic. I don't know, just cool blue cards. Okay, what do we have here? We have a Jace. There's also a Teferi. Keranos is also a really good card. So, but I think it's between Jace and Teferi, and I'm going to take this Jace here. We don't have any card draw yet, like real truthful card draw. We have like Thassa for filtering. Also Vendilion Clique for filtering. But I like Jace here, especially if we're thinking about playing Waterfront Bouncer. Okay, so we got our choice of Time Warps or a terrible creature. I think actual just Time Warp is probably where it's at. I mean, I'd like to live in a world where I think that I can awaken this. But, real world scenario, I'm going to take this Time Warp. Okay. Looter? We'll take a Looter. Looters are great. Nothing else here in this pack for us. So we'll just move along. All right. Volcanic Island. Volcanic Island is pretty interesting, actually, because that unlocks some of our red cards, but we don't really have any red cards that we want to be playing, except for maybe Izzet Charm. Chasm Skulker, I think, is going to be the pick here. Coral Helm Commander is okay, but this usually wheels. I think that we can get that on the wheel. But Chasm Skulker is pretty great. We'll just pick that up. Oh my god! Oh, it's everything. It's actual everything. Okay. I think it's just Treachery. I mean, gosh, I would love a Cryptic Command. I would love a Cryptic Command, but I think it has to be Treachery. Treachery is just, it's too good. It's too good. I mean, it's not a bad thing picking up Treachery over Cryptic Command. It's just why they have to be in the same pack. Future Sight is super powerful, but you got to be able to play it. Wake Thrasher is fine. And Loxodon Warhammer is not exactly what I want to be doing. Maybe it's just Future Sight. That can be like kind of a form of card draw. This Precursor Golem is looking stranger and stranger by the minute. Oh, nice little Remand. Take that. I would have liked to have picked up this Relic of Progenitus, but pick up a Remand. Remand is fine. All right. Looking probably like Talrand. We have Impulse, Remand. Not much. We're more of like a creature-based blue deck. But, I mean, Talrand and Opposition, it's a thing. We'll take this Teferi. That's nice. Precursor Golem can Precursor Golem is actually pretty good with opposition also. Maybe this Future Sight moves to the board. Maybe Duplicate moves to the board. Yeah. Forget you, Duplicate. I don't know what Teferi's doing. Again, we don't have many things to hit with this, but we'll just take this part the Water Veil. Do I want people to have a Crater Hoof? I don't think I'm ever gonna play part the Water Veil. And I'd rather just not get hoofed, so. We'll take this Utopia Sprawl, and I'm not gonna ever play Coral Helm Commander. Let's see, we have Merfolk. Yeah, maybe I will play Coral Helm Commander. Not actively though, but ooh, Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is a fine one. Another Wake Thrasher. Not another Wake Thrasher, but Wake Thrasher came back. That's all right. Cool. I like our deck. I like our deck a lot. Gosh, Treachery and... all right, so after much deliberation, as you can see, this is the deck that we fell on. So I took out the Future Sight and the Wake Thrasher. Let's clean this up a little bit. All right. So I took out the Future Sight and the Wake Thrasher. You know, maybe we can, if we're in a spot where we can maybe have a more of a beatdown strategy, we can bring both of these in. Maybe even bring in Deceiver Exarch to tap down their guys. But yeah, this looks pretty good. Do we play Talrand? Talrand's a Merfolk also. How many Merfolk do we have? We have, that's a Moonfolk. It's a human, Fairy Wizard, Spirit, it's a Jellyfish, Squid Horror, there's a Merfolk there. You know, it might be, we don't have a whole lot of card draw, so maybe the Waterfront Bouncer is not the right option here. Maybe it is Coral Helm Commander. Because we do have a couple other Merfolk that can get there. Maybe not Talrand. Maybe we bring in Wake Thrasher instead. Because like with Talrand, we have 4 instants and sorceries, so it's not really a Talrand type of situation. Yeah, I think I like this. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see y'all for round 1.